afternoon and welcome to another Mountain Musings. I don't know if you can tell, you might be able to hear it better than you can see it, but we're enjoying some rain. And this is a very welcome sight around here. For most of the spring and this early part of the summer, it's been pretty warm, not oppressively so. But we've had almost no rain. And in this area, no rain means forest fires. And so we've been praying for rain, and thankfully the Lord sent rain starting this week. Starting Monday, it's been raining off and on every day, and we're very thankful for that. And it's been a good rain, a slow, gentle rain, the kind that we really like around here. Don't like the really heavy stuff that causes flash floods. So we're enjoying this. It's cool. As you can tell, I've got my fuzzy hoodie on, and I've got coffee right here. So I'm well set for the day. Today we're going to look at the first of two parts on simplicity, the Christian discipline of simplicity. In 1 Timothy chapter 6 and 7 we read, "But godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into the world, and we can take nothing out." 1 Timothy chapter 6, verses 6 and 7, Christian Standard Bible. In the Army, we have an old saying, KISS. Use the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. One of the things that we realize in the Army is that very complicated plans often go awry. Simple plans are the plans that normally have the greatest chance for success. And so we try very hard to keep things simple as we plan. We planned for the invasion of Iraq, and we sought to create a fairly simple, straightforward plan that would work. And fortunately, we're successful. So keeping things simple often is the best way. But our modern life doesn't lend itself to simplicity. When I was a kid growing up in Abilene, Texas, for television, for entertainment, we had roughly four choices: ABC, CBS, NBC, and PBS. That was it. One of those four was going to be our entertainment. Now, eventually cable came sometime when I was in junior high, I think, and the choice expanded. Today, via the miracle of the internet, I have huge choice. I have so much material out there that I could never hope to watch everything that I'm kind of interested in. I have many different services that I can access. I can craft my own entertainment. Through the same internet, I write, I take pictures, record this video, post podcasts, stay in touch with friends. The internet allows me to do a wide variety of things, but it also brings great complication. Our modern life is a very complicated life, yet the Lord calls us to a simpler, more straightforward existence. In Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 4, we read, "Then I saw that all toil and all skill and work come from a man's envy of his neighbor. This also is vanity and a striving after wind." Ecclesiastes 4, verse 4, English Standard Version. We live in a world that distracts us, and that's the problem with living a complicated life. When we live a complicated life, we are distracted from the things of the Lord. The Lord calls us to a life that is simpler and more straightforward, a life that allows us to place our faith in the Lord, to trust in Him. There's an interesting prayer in Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 30, verses 7 through 9. "Two things I ask of you. Deny them not to me before I die. Remove far from me falsehood and lying. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with the food that is needful for me, lest I be full and deny you and say, Who is the Lord? Or lest I be poor and steal and profane the name of my God. Proverbs 30, verses 7 through 9, English Standard Version. Interestingly, the writer petitions the Lord for what he needs. Not too much, not too little. If he gets too much, he may trust in his riches and deny the Lord. And we see that all the time. People who are very wealthy, well off, I include myself in that, can become very comfortable and trust in their wealth. And if I'm not careful, I can place my trust in my house, my truck, my books, my car, all those nice, comfortable things that I surround myself with. I can place my trust in them and be very comfortable and say, well, I'll get around to the Lord later. And that's what the writer of Proverbs is counseling against, this idea that extreme wealth can lead him astray. But he seeks not poverty either, because he understands that if he feels the pinch of need too greatly, he may deny his faith and steal and profane the name of the Lord. You see, sometimes when we're squeezed too hard, we lose our faith and fail and may steal or do other things that do not honor the Lord. So he's saying, grant me a simple life, a life where I have what I need, but not too much. It's hard to balance this in a world which calls you and I to great acquisition. We look at our neighbor. Is their car better than mine? Do they have a bigger house? Are their clothes newer? Do I give my kids enough toys? So let's define simplicity. And I've written down a casual definition of simplicity. You might want to think of your own. The Bible doesn't really give us a nice, clear-cut definition. So here's what I have defined simplicity as. Living simply means centering your life on God, being satisfied with the blessings you have, not being consumed by desire for more, and living generously. I include living generously in there because if we live simply, then we also live generously. And we'll talk about exactly what that means later on. But we have enough to share with those whom we meet, those in need. So that's part of living simply. We're not controlled by possessions. We're not consumed by desire for more. And I'll be honest, I'm a gadget and a truck guy. I like gadgets. I like technology. As a signal officer in the Army, I made my living with technology. I trusted and depended on it, learned how to manipulate it, and that has stayed with me. So I have to watch myself because I'll find any excuse to buy the latest and greatest computer or a new camera. And trucks. Yeah, I've been driving, the first vehicle I owned was a truck, and I've been driving trucks ever since. So when I see that new Dodge or that new Chevy or the new Toyota or, hey, the Rivian electric truck, man, that gets my juices flowing. But that's not living simply. That's being owned by my possessions, not owning my possessions. So living simply involves this idea of trusting God to provide me that which I need and trusting Him to live generously with the things He has given me. Jesus helps us a little bit. In Luke chapter 12, verse 34, He says, "For where your treasure is, there will be your heart also." So living simply helps us identify where our treasure is. It helps us keep the Lord as the center of our life. And like I said, this is not something that our modern world helps us with. In fact, uh, the human condition has always been geared toward acquisition. How much do I have? How much more can I get? So this week, I want us to take a clear look in the mirror and think about, am I living simply? Next week, we'll look at some strategies, some ideas of how Scripture points us toward living simply. But I have 6 questions this week I'd like you to ask yourself that kind of help you maybe identify, am I living simply or do I have problems elsewhere? So I'm going to read these 6 questions. They'll be on the screen, so you can either screen capture them or write them down if you so desire. Question number 1, do you consider yourself a success? Why or why not? Number 2, are you comfortable with your standard of living? Again, why or why not? Number 3, are you able to contribute to good charitable causes? Number 4, how important is it to you to get that next promotion? Number 5, if you have a family, do you have enough time to spend time with them? How would they answer that question? And number 6, do you have time to spend in regular prayer and study of Scripture? So these 6 questions can kind of help you clarify in your mind, do I live a simple life or not? And you'll notice that there's not a nice, convenient monetary peg to hang the answer to this question on. Living simply is not about how much money you have in the bank. Living simply is about something else. Next week, join me and we'll talk about some ideas that might help you to live more simply. Some ideas that might help you move away from the complicated world of modern life into a more simpler, an easier, more God-centered way of living. As always, thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. I thank God, especially for the rain. We very badly needed it. If you like this, leave a like, leave a comment, leave a suggestion. Sometimes I may, in your mind, hit a clunker, and that's okay. You can tell me that. But whatever. Thank you for joining me, and have a good day.